The Ravagers number 9, written by Michael Allen Nelson, art by Ig Guara. So last issue, Rose and Warblade led some dude into a town. He blew up and everyone got infected with radiation. Now they're all blowing up and Rose and Warblade have to save the day, but then the Ravagers showed up. Anyway, so this issue opens up inside the jail. One of the prisoners is like, "Hey, let me out of here. My cellmate's going nuts." And the cop just runs out the door as we see the cellmate is like literally about to explode himself. Meanwhile, we cut over to the Ravagers fighting Warblade and Rose, and basically they were looking for Adam, the original guy who blew up, and Rose is like, "Yeah, he's already dead. We've got our own problem going on here. Can we not fight right now?" And then the cop gets involved, and he's like, "Hey, everyone stop fighting. These two were helping. You guys need to back down now." And immediately they're like, "I'm sorry, did you say that Rose and Warblade were helping?" And it's just like, yeah, I know, crazy, right? So at that point we see the daughter, Candace, steals her dad's cop car and she's like, "Nah, screw this, I'm out, I'm leaving. I don't want to be in this crappy town anymore." And oh yeah, Rose got infected with the explosion stuff as well. So she's like, "Yeah, I'm kind of dying and that's an issue." And then the cop that left the jail said, "Sheriff, you got to come quick. The entire jail has been blown apart." So he's being pulled in 3 different directions, either dealing with the irradiated people, dealing with Rose dying because she's one of the people who can help, and then also dealing with his daughter and the jail. So all that stuff coming up, he's just like, okay, here's how this is going to go out. Caitlin and the cop are going to help Rose. Warblade is going to deal with the inmate situation at the jail, and the rest of the Ravagers are going to get his daughter and bring her back. So first we go to the Warblade thing, who goes along with the deputy. And the deputy's just like, "You seem like a bad person. I really want you out of here, but you are trying to help, so maybe you could do something." And Warblade's like, "Oh my god, please shut up. I don't want to hear anything out of your head anymore." And then immediately he's incinerated, and Warblade's like, "Oh, good, finally, that happened." And we see that the prisoner is able to wield his radiation powers for a while, and Warblade's like, "Okay, here's the thing. I need to analyze someone, and it seems like you're someone who's not going to be missed. So I'm just going to wait for you to drop dead." And then he keeps on blasting Warblade, and he's like, "You should be overwhelmed with pain right now." And the inmate's like, "I'm pretty good at handling pain." He's like, "All right, well, let's see how long that goes," as they start to fight. Then we go to the cop, Rose, and Caitlin. They break into a local clinic, and the cop's like, "So, Rose, how much morphine can you handle?" She's like, "As much as you got." So they just fill her up with that in order to get her mind off the pain and try to figure out how she got infected by this radiation. But Caitlin and Rose have this whole thing about how Caitlin betrayed Rose, and it was like Caitlin's like, "Oh, but you betrayed us first because you sold your soul to Harvest." And it's like, no. You were in on that too. You betrayed me. So then we cut over to Caitlin, who's still driving away. Ridge jumps in front of her car and she slams into a tree, and she's like, "Christ, kid, just put on the brakes next time." So she tries to run away from Ridge. Tara throws up some dirt walls in order to stop her, and she's like, "No, I can't go back there. Who are you people?" And Ridge is like, "Nah, screw this. I don't want to be here playing babysitting duty. I'm going back into town. I'm going to go deal with Warblade." Thunder apparently is having some head-splitting migraines, and he's like, they're all looking at him like, "Dude, do you have the radiation thing as well?" He's like, No. I've been dealing with this since before we got to town." He's like, "Okay. Why?" He's like, "I don't know. It's ever since my sister died. My head just hurts like that. Anyway, let's deal with Candace." And Candace is like, "Well, why don't you just let me go and go get my brother? He's a weirdo like you." And Tara's just, "I'm sorry, did you say like us?" So then we cut back to Warblade. He's managed to land some hits on the prisoner guy, and he's like, "Okay, well, let me just analyze the blood I've got on my fingers right now. Okay, cool, done. I don't need you anymore." And he's like, "Well, I'm not done with you yet." And as he's blasting Warblade, immediately his entire body just stops, and he doesn't know what's happening, and it turns out that it's actually Candace's brother who brought him and stopped him from attacking. And Warblade's like, "Hey, did you bring this guy to his knees?" And he's like, "I don't know, kinda." He's like, "Cool. Next time, put him in the ground," as Warblade just cuts off his head, and he explodes in his a radiation thing. So then the cop arrives, and he's like, oh, what, you brought my son here? And Warblade's like, nah, he just walked over. Screw you. This is not my fault. And the cop starts yelling at his son. He's like, oh, you could have been killed. You could have gotten hurt. And he's like, but then he eventually stops and hugs him. Just like, I'm so worried about you and your sister. And I'm sorry about that. So then Ridge walks in. He's like, Warblade, I'm going to kick your ass. And Warblade's like, bring it, you cockney bastard. Because apparently, I forgot to mention at some point, he was British. Tara comes in with Candace, and the cop is like, okay, can you guys please just go home so I can just have that bit off my plate? And the kids are like, okay, fair enough. So they start formulating a plan on what to do and whether they can even trust Warblade. But then as Candace is walking away, she starts exploding as well. And the cop's like, oh, God, no, you got to save my kid. Warblade, what do we do? And Warblade's like, okay, I analyzed the stuff. It should be able to dissipate the problem from the entire town, but I need like 15 people to go through an intense amount of pain. And he's like, cool, I'll go find some volunteers. So he runs off. He immediately brings back 15 people, and Warblade's like, well, that was fast. You did tell them they would be in intense pain, right? And he's like, yep. And they still volunteered? Yep. Wow, better people than me. Okay. Also, I need one person to be at like the center of all this, and they will almost certainly die. And the cop's like, all right, I volunteer. And they're like, no, Dad, don't volunteer. And he's like, I'm your dad. I have to do this to save you, Candace. So they all form a circle, and they're all holding hands with each other. And somehow this is going to fix the problem. And Warblade, he's so happy. He's just like, hey, Caitlin, Fairchild, you're going to have to trust me. Ha ha. So at that point, he goes around the circle, and he's like, all right, hold on. Just got to figure out the right angle here. And he seemingly just like slashes the air, and then all of a sudden there's a giant like radiation explosion within the circle. The dad dies, and the problem's solved. I don't get it, but it happened. So at that point, everyone is relieved of their radiation sickness, and everyone, Rose and Warblade are like, okay, we did it. Ravagers, are we cool for right now? Like, let's not fight. Let's just, you guys go your way, we'll go ours. And as the Ravagers depart, Rose gives a look to Caitlin like, we could have been friends still, but you had to be a bitch. So then Rose turns to Warblade, and Warblade's like, okay, cool, let's grab the sheriff's kid, because he's got some superpowers, and Harvest is going to want that. And Rose is like, no. We can't let Harvest know we were ever even here, because remember, we're only here because we failed mercilessly. If Harvest ever finds out, he's gonna kill us. As we see, Harvest is watching a hologram of them saying those exact words. Oopsie. Okay, so as for the whole story of both arcs, or both issues, I do like the idea of Rose and Warblade being forced in a situation where they're actually forced to do the right thing, like the good thing. I like that as a story arc. The solution, like the fact that Warblade knows how to stop it, I'm okay with. The fact that it doesn't make any sense at all is where I draw a little bit of a problem. Like, how hard would it have been to just tell us, you know? Like, I don't know. That just seemed weird to me, where it's like, they purposely threw out some weird math science stuff of like, oh, carry the 6 and divide by the thigh quadrant. And it's like, okay, well, just give us a fake explanation instead of it just being hand wavy like, and he fixed it. That's the only part that really bothered me. Yeah, no, for the most part, it's just, I think it was a solid little 2-issue arc. This one probably felt a bit more condensed than it needed to, but it's the way they're doing it, so I guess it's fine. Yeah, no real major issues. It didn't blow me away. It was just a good concept of Warblade and Rose having to do the actual right thing, and the Ravagers being on the technically wrong side of it for once. So I'm going to give this one a... I'm going to say 7, and the only thing that bumps it up from like a 6.5 is the fact that I think it had some genuinely good dialogue, especially from Warblade, where he's just like, oh my god, I so don't want to be here. And he's just funny in the way he does it. So, yeah, I'll give it a 7, which is, I think, maybe a series high.